So, at my school, I'm in a special kids program. Don't worry, it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. And because we're in the program, we get to compete in an annual dodgeball game. Last year, it was planned to be like a 1 year fundraiser, but lot of people did go, so because of that, they did it again this year. And this year, I actually competed, so I have a story to tell you. You're welcome. But I'm not just going to tell you my story, I'm going to tell you about the entire game, but mainly focus on my team. Anyway, because I got there late, my friends waited for me, like good friends. Then I ran in and it was a practice. Before the game, all the teams were just throwing dodgeballs everywhere. Then the teachers said that it was starting soon. Whoa. Then they told us the rules that, might I add, none of the members of my team paid any sort of attention to. And then it officially began. The teams were the Crossovers, the Asgardians of the Inevitable Death, the Visco Girls, the Average Joes, some 7th graders, don't tell them I forgot their team name, and the best team, my team, the Default Dancers. There was also a team of teachers called the Superheroes, and one of the best teachers on their team, in my opinion, was dressed as Spider-Man. The first game was us against the Sevies, the ultimate Kickstarter, and we completely lost it. Also, our team was originally me, my 3 friends, and 2 9th graders, but the 2 9th graders completely dipped, and now we needed extra players. We got 3 kids, even though it's like teams of 6, so we had 7 in total. There was this somewhat jacked kid, and then there were these 2 7th grade girls. Now, the 2 Sevies didn't want to be split up because they were total besties, so we had a team of 7, but the 2 girls would switch each game. Remember that, because it's important for later. Then the first game, we lost to the Sevies. They played well, so did we, but in the end, they were too good for us. I'm kidding, by the way. The team was completely trash. Also, this is when we realized we should have paid attention to the rules, because apparently if you caught someone else's ball, the person who threw it went out, and the team that caught it was able to revive a fallen teammate. What? We thought that they were cheating. Seriously. Oh, and also, every team had 2 lives. So if you lost once, you could still come back for more once more. However, I think the teachers either weren't keeping track of the score or gave it to us because we were so bad. I mean, amazing. But they gave us an extra life. Then it was the Asgardians of the Inevitable Death against the Average Joes. The Average Joes won, and I think, and they lived to fight another day. Then, while in between the games was happening, that like short Grace Hunger Games period, me and my friend ran down to the bathroom in the scary dark basement. In the scary dark basement. Little known fact, I'm actually not afraid of, anything at all. You name it, I'm not afraid of it, besides Hawk Lou. So he asked me to go down with him, because he didn't know if the lights worked. I waited with him, like a good friend, and then when we got back up, the next game had started, and our team was up? For some reason, no one came down or called us to go and say that, we were up. So someone from the Crossovers team had to carry us to victory. I mean, we still won against the Visco Girls, might I add. It was at this point that we actually realized that our lives were mismatched up, and then we basically dropped on our hands and knees oh my god, this is such a confusing sentence to say. It was at this point that we actually realized that our lives were mismatched up, and then we basically dropped down on our hands and knees to thank God for saving us. Then, it was like the Asgardians of the Inevitable Death against some other team, I think the Crossovers, and the Asgardians lost their second game. Then it was the Average Joes against the teachers, and the Average Joes came out just below. Bars! The teachers, the superheroes, they won. Then, we were told that we would be playing the winner of the next game, and all our hearts basically sank when we realized that the 2 teams were the 2 best teams, the Crossovers and the superheroes. The 2 best teams! The Crossovers won, because obviously, then we thought we were about to get completely clapped, but then there were 2 more games, for some reason. So we were just waiting anxiously, praying to God would somehow pull through. Then the Visco Girls went against the Sevies, and one of the Visco Girls completely dipped. Typical Visco Girl style. So the most elite man-child to ever walk the stupid hallways of our school was put onto their team to sub, and he nearly single-handedly defeated every one of the evil Sevies. By the way, we were hoping the Sevies lost because they beat us, and we were toxic. So then we all stepped up and knew our place. My team, the Default Dancers, were about to face off against the Crossovers, the most try-hard elite team in the entire, gym. I'm not exaggerating at all, bear with me. We were literally in position, ready to bolt for the dodgeballs, and they said, 3, 2, 1, and then before they said go, there was a brief pause, and they screamed, "Dance break!" Half of us had already, ran for the balls, and they were just like, "Dance break!" You best believe we didn't do any of the right dance moves because we didn't know them and instead default danced the entire time. Then two of our team members ran down to use the bathroom and actually found the light switch. While they were down there, the epic dance party ended, and it was my team against the crossovers. So I called down to them, hoping they'd hear me, and because I was 2 feet from them, of course, they did, we ran up and we were ready to face the crossovers. This would be intense. The second they called go, if not a second before, both teams ran for the balls in the middle. My team got half, their team got half, maybe about half. My team had a decent strategy, win. Also, there was a timer on every game, and whichever team with the most players by the end of the timer won, or the last team standing won. Both worked. The crossovers were actually good at catching the dodgeballs, and they caught a lot of the ones we threw, so that's how we got out. I don't know if we even got any of them out, probably 1 or 2, but we were defeated. What a surprise! But remember, the teachers messed up our lives, so we still had another life. Also, I think after the Visco girls won that game, all the members left or something because they never played again despite winning. Anyway, then it was the Average Joes against the Superheroes again for some reason, and the Average Joes lost again, which, when you think about it, why put a team that completely lost against another team against that team yet again? Anyway, the Average Joes lost all their lives, and now the only teams remaining were the Crossovers, the Sevies, the Superheroes, and us, the Default Dancers. We were up next, of course, because we're the best. We were against the Superheroes, aka the Overpowered Teachers. They were on their last life, and so were we. So we had an actual chance of getting to the finals. The game started, and we actually did amazing at the beginning. 3 of us went out, so it was me, one of my friends, and one of the random girls. Remember earlier when I told you to remember the 2 girls that were total besties that were on our team? Well, one of them was actually really good at the game. The other, though, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but the exact opposite. Every game that she was in the game, she just leaned against the back wall and did literally nothing. She would not move at all. She completely refused. At one point, I ran over and handed her a ball, and she just threw it on the ground. She did not care at all. If not for that, we could have done way better. Anyway, it's me, her, my friend. Somehow we actually got 4 of them out. It's a 3v2, and there are 20 seconds remaining. They had 2 balls on their side, and we had all the others. If we dodged the last 2 dodgeballs and we just camped in the back and waited, we would win. I yelled this to our 2 alive teammates, and the random girl just kind of ignored me, and my friend apparently didn't hear me, and with a sudden burst of energy, threw a ball at the hands down best player on the teacher's team, the math teacher. Now, our math teacher is not very jacked on the outside, but really jacked on the inside, if that makes any sense. You can tell he works out. He was whipping balls at people at the speed of light divided by 7. So you can imagine my utter anger when my friend chucked the ball at him like he was playing a game of catch. Of course, my math teacher caught it. He went out. They got Spider-Man, and they easily won the game because of that one ball. We could have gotten second, but no. Then it was the Sevies against the Crossovers. The Sevies lost, and then the crossover against the Teachers. The Teachers actually beat the Crossovers, but because the Crossovers hadn't lost a single game yet, they had to play until they lost both their lives. The Crossovers won the final game, securing the dub. And the whole time, the music was louder than my screams of anger! A wise man once told me that there is no sense meddling on the past when there is the future to look forward to and await. That man was Albert Einstein, and I just talked to him yesterday. Then, I had to wait outside to get picked up, so I called Pahayane, who listened to my rage, comforted me, and just listened to more of my rage. And that was it. The most epic event in middle school history, ever. Probably not, honestly. I had a friend who lives in London, and he told me that at his school, they had a Nerf gun war at a school sleepover. First of all, school sleepover? Second of all, Nerf war? I'd dominate if I was invited, but I wasn't because I'd have to travel across an ocean. But, just saying, for the future. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I will hopefully see you in my next upload. I'm working on a short horror series that will hopefully give you the chills. The first episode is written and storyboarded, and we just need a day to film, and then I'll edit it, and then you'll see it. Sorry for not uploading much. School is certainly keeping me from that. Remember earlier when I said how I'm in a special program? Well, yeah, that means I get a lot more homework than overall, so that's great. I can handle that. Anyway, have a good day.